Mike, who is the polar spokesman of this expedition, as I say, nearly 5 years ago sent an email and that he and I would ski across in winter, but we accepted the fact that just because we had already done it in summer didn't mean we could easily do it in winter. So therefore we would, shall we say, cheat by having dumps dropped off in advance for us, which we'd find in the darkness, and that was his plan. So I went to my old friends at the Foreign Office, Polar Desk in sort of near Downing Street, and they said, "Oh, not you again." And they said, "Don't get a chance of getting a permit," because the Foreign Office is very sensible. They don't let British citizens go down into Antarctica, because if they get lost, I mean in winter I'm talking about, because if they run into trouble, there is no rescue facility. And therefore you will become an embarrassment to your country, which they naturally don't want, and therefore they stop you having a permit. However, the permit which Mike and I applied for 4.5 years ago, we finally got 12 days ago, or Tony did, yeah, which was just as well because the ship had already left South Africa.
So, Ran, why?
Well, basically, I suppose, because Mike Stroud decided that we would do it, and whatever Mike has said, I've always gone along with for 25 years. But there was a rumour at this time, I'm not wanting in any way to be personal about anybody, but the Norwegians do consider the polar regions to be theirs and not people like the Brits and the French and that to muck around in. The Norwegians do come into our thinking about why we are doing this, and if we don't succeed, then you can be sure that they will try within a year or two.
Ran, of all the charities in the world, what made you settle for Seeing is Believing?
Well, I suppose slightly selfish, because I hated the time that I went snowblind. Luckily, I wasn't by myself, and Mike took over and carried on in more or less the right direction. But it wasn't a nasty experience, and I can't think of being like that all my days.